Westview Knights bid for a championship came up a little short last season when they were knocked off by the Centennial Coyotes. For the Deer Valley Skyhawks, their program has shown steady growth in recent years, and they're looking for the kind of breakout season the Knights had a year ago. Tonight, these two clubs will square off in a pivotal Week 3 matchup on our Cox 7 AIA Game of the Week. Well, hi again, everybody. Glad you could join us. Kevin Ray alongside the former Dallas Cowboy Dale Hellestree as we come to you from the campus of Deer Valley High School. Looking forward to a great matchup here tonight, Week 3. Two very well-coached teams, two teams with the same frame of mind.
Well, they do. They have the same frame of mind. They both talented, coming off impressive performances last week. Going to be a fun game to watch tonight.
Yeah, you got Westview coming in at 2-0, and let's start with the Knights. They come in, their head coach Jeff Bowen in his 6th season. So what do you do when you've lost nearly 4,000 yards and 48 touchdowns to graduation? Well, if you're Jeff Bowen, you just roll up your sleeves and get to work.
Well, you do, and he's got a philosophy, and you just kind of, you know what, you are not going to replace a Conley and a Nicholson, but what you do is you have philosophy, and Bowen does have that. He's built a program over there at Westview, and they're proud of that.
Well, not only philosophy, but he's got a couple of guys that he thinks by the end of the season, Dale, will round into form as we get a look at the two-headed monster this year in R.J. Robinson and Carlton Williams.
Yeah, as you said, you are not going to replace the guys who left last year. They 4,000 yards combined, and those numbers are astounding. You make a deep run in the playoffs, get the state championship. You don't replace them, but I tell you what, these two kids are really talented. It'll be fun to watch them tonight.
Well, on the defensive side of the ball, and talking to head coach Jeff Bowen, he feels like that before it's all said and done, they might have a better defense. Why? Because of the play of this young man, Vince Keener, and others.
Yeah, they're obviously very talented defensively, very aggressive. You'll see them all around the football, and that's what I love to see. You're going to see a bunch of white jerseys around the football tonight, and that will be a key if they're going to win tonight.
Well, for the Deer Valley Skyhawks, as we said, they are moving into some uncharted territory. Last year, claiming their first outright region championship. Big reason why is the coaching of this man, Sven Christensen, in his 7th season. It's taken a while to get this ship turned around, so to speak, but he feels like they're finally heading in that right direction.
Yeah, and since 1983, I believe, was their last championship. So it's been a long drought here, and now you have some success. You can build on that, and that's what he's hoping to do this year.
You know, they've always had very good athletes here at Deer Valley. Of course, for the longest time, one of the biggest high schools in the state of Arizona. Pierce Swardfager is a guy coming back, playing last year at quarterback, spent a lot of time honing his skills in the offseason, and already the numbers beginning to jump off the page a little bit here in 08.
Well, as you watch the highlights here, he can beat you with his arm, obviously with his feet. You don't see a whole lot of combinations that you have quarterback wrestler in them. And he's a really tough kid, smart kid too. Anytime you mention MIT next to an athlete, wow, very impressive. As you see his numbers, first team all-region last year and looking to have a bigger year this year.
This is a Skyhawk offense that will like to spread the field a little bit, and for Swardfager, when he does drop back or roll out and throw, he's going to be looking downfield for Billy Lutz.
And take a look at that. And obviously, you see the numbers there. 7 receptions last week alone against Basha, a very good football team. They came back to make that a football game. He's going to have time to throw to complete these passes for them to have success tonight.
Should be a good one tonight. We'll see who the last man standing is. Will it be the Westview Knights or the home team, the Deer Valley Skyhawks? Kickoff when we return. Live AIA High School football on Cox 7 Arizona, presented by...
Live AIA High School football on Cox 7 Arizona, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association, and the United States Army. Army Strong is brought to you by Arizona Exterminating, home of the all-pest solution, the green solution, by SCF Arizona, and work for you, by the East Valley Tribune Varsity Extra, for the best coverage of high school sports, and by Ashley Furniture Home Store. You're going to love this place.
But glad you could join us on this Thursday night as we come to you from the campus of Deer Valley High School. Our Cox 7 AIA game of the week as the Deer Valley Skyhawks take on the Westview Knights. The Knights come in with a record of 2-0. Deer Valley at 1-1. Two teams still who advanced to the postseason a year ago, and clearly two teams who have the postseason on their mind already at this early date. Of course, for Deer Valley, I think Sven Christensen anxious to see how his club responds from their first loss, falling to Basha last week.
Well, Basha obviously a very, very good football team, and they came back, made it a football game, had a chance with the onside kick at the end. I think that the way it ended up, you got to be pretty pleased if you're Deer Valley. Now here's another test. Westview, obviously a very solid football team.
We talked about at the top of the telecast that this is a program that is still growing. Sven Christensen talks about the challenge tonight against a Layton Knights team.
Westview is a well-coached football team. I mean, just watching them on film and studying them on film, from play fakes to everything, you can tell that those kids are well-coached. And they have some great athletes. They have some big physical offensive linemen up front that come after you and get you hard. Coach Bowen does a great job with those kids.
And a veteran-laden club from the sense of having been a little deeper into the postseason. These two coaches, almost identical marks in terms of where they are at with their program. Seventh year here for Deer Valley for Sven Christensen. Jeff Bowen in 6 years has done a remarkable job in turning around that Westview Knights program.
Yeah, we did their last game last year in the state championship, and we saw them earlier in the year just continue to build, continue to get better, replace guys, and once you have a program going, so they're trying to do here at Deer Valley. You don't want to just be a one-and-done type team. We win a championship and then go into hibernation for 20 years again. You want to start to build on that, take advantage of that, and that's what both coaches are doing.
Skyhawks got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs last season, falling to Desert Ridge 29-25. But in talking to Sven Christensen, he was very honest in his breakdown of this program, saying, look, we had to change the philosophy and culture before we could start winning. And that took about 2 years to do.
Well, you have to do that in any program. And some programs it's more difficult to do. When you don't have success, I don't care if you're at the high school, collegiate, or pro level. If you don't have success, that is the most difficult thing to overcome. And now you taste it. Now all of a sudden, you know what? More people want to come to Deer Valley. Maybe a kid who might have thought about not coming here might come here. Guys who might have not thought of playing that were here are thinking of playing.
Well, the Skyhawks will kick it off. Westview in the road white tonight. Taking it up for the Skyhawks is Matthew Walber. Junior kicker, 5'9", 150 pounds. Back deep to receive for the Knights. Number 2, R.J. Robinson. Robinson set up here on the near side hash. A sidewinding kick as we get things underway. Taken around the 12 as they look for reverse. Hand off, and the return man collides with his own player. That's Levi Childress, just a sophomore. Take a look at the starting offensive unit for the Westview Knights. And wingback Joe Lauer, a multi-dimensional player, Nate McOwen playing offense tonight. Add in Eric Ramsey. Good group up front, and keep an eye on this group up front with Bowen, Carrasco, Williams, and company. And leading the signal calling charge, Jordan Brandon, a junior quarterback. We saw him last season and really began to emerge as an on-field leader as they begin things on the ground. A good surge up front defensively by that Deer Valley defensive front as we check out their starting defensive group tonight.
Going to be tested up front there. You see that 3-4 defense is out there to start it, but keep an eye on how these three guys do right here because they're going to be matched up against a pretty good offensive line. And if that center name sounded familiar, Brennan Bowen, the center for Westview, replacing a pretty good football player, Guy Reynolds, from last year, and he's also the coach's son.
Keep it on the ground. Nice cut back as they worked it initially to the outside. Pickup of maybe 4, so it'll bring up 3rd and long here. On the carry that time, Joe Lauer. Senior running back, 175 pounds.
Well, as you watch this Westview offense, it's a run, and then we're going to run a little bit more. And they're going to try and out-physical you. Can you withstand that? Can you out-physical them? That's what they're going to see if you can do every time they line up.
Tight formation here is Lauer going in motion, right to left. Brandon wants to throw, rolling. Pass it tucked. Now he's got some blockers. Tries to get the corner. He does so. Stays up right across the 30. He's got enough for the first down. And then some. And that's where you see the athleticism of Jordan Grandin. We saw it last year early on as he got a few snaps here and there for Jeff Bowen. But you could tell this young man had playmaker written all over him.
Well, it's going to just be a little rollout. You're going to come in. But what I want you to watch is after the play breaks down, watch Grandin's athletic ability take over. Nobody open. Good coverage downfield. Now watch the block right here. Number 34 does a great job right there. Eric Ramsey. And then Grandin does the rest, picking up the first down. And I think if you're Deer Valley, you're saying, you know what, we do not want to see number 7 out in open field. Fastest guy on the football team.
You face a team like this with a quarterback like that, you really have to play assignment football. It's almost like facing the option or the veer offense. And that'll be a little bit of a challenge with this Deer Valley club. Those ends have got to stay at home. From the shotgun for the first time tonight after the first down carry from Grandin. They'll keep it on the ground. Trying to bend to the outside. Got a nice block at midfield. At the 40, down the far sideline. Finally pushed out of bounds. R.J. Robinson showing his wheels. And the Knights striking for a big play on this opening possession here on the road. A 36-yard pickup for Robinson.
You see that first shotgun snap from Bo in the center, and then that threat of Jordan Grandin with that option play, handing the ball off, and then you have that speed of R.J. Robinson just doing a nice job. And as you said, so hard, especially when you're a young kid, to stay your responsibilities. Don't go chasing something you think is there. You've got to hold your gap, and you've got to be ready for somebody to come right back at you.
A run out Twins here to the near side at the bottom of your screen as they work the ball at the far side of hash. Again, big hole. Robinson slicing through, upended. But now before he picks up another first down, this time another carry. Good for 12.
You know, we're talking about these speed guys. We're talking about Robinson and Grandin and Joe Lauer. But as we said at the beginning, up front, watch these guys. I want you to watch number 51 right here. His name is Victor Carrasco. That was number 62. That was Chafee. But downfield, number 51, Carrasco. These guys are physical. They're going to come up and hit you. And if you don't withstand that, especially early in this football game, it's going to be a long night.
Brandon on the keeper. There is a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage. This one, in all likelihood,
there's a flag on the play.
Will be coming back. Well, you mentioned Carrasco, and Jeff Bowen just raving about him because felt bad was out all of last season with a back injury. We're going to look at our AIA officiating crew this evening. Kent Powell is our referee. Kevin Grell, the umpire. The linesman, James Gillespie. Steve Salazar. And the back judge is Patrick Walker. Our crew hailing from Flagstaff as we get the call there from the referee.
We have a legal motion on White. There will be a repeat of first down.
Well, you were talking about the offensive line, and the best guy on their line is John Higgle, the guy that you hear about a little bit. But all these guys are very capable, and they're tough. They're hard-nosed, a little bit undersized, a couple of them. But they will stay after you. And like I said, if you don't withstand the surge early in this game, it's a long night.
Twins set. Brandon's going to keep it. Big hole opens on the near side. Beautiful. Bounce to the outside, and the result, touchdown Westview.
Jordan Grandin made that look almost too easy. And the great ones can do that. I mean, I played with Eric Dickerson at SMU, and people are on him all the time. You're not running hard enough. Watch Jordan Grandin come here. Fakes the handoff this time, but watch how smooth that, just a subtle little hip slide to the left fake, and then he comes, didn't even break stride. Looked like he had another gear if he needed it, but he didn't right there, as Westview makes it look very, very easy on this first drive.
Point after good, so a successful opening possession here for the visiting Westview Knights.
You're going to see, watch the fake handoff right here, and then you're going to see a bunch of jerseys chasing here, and then you got one guy out here that's going to have a chance on making the play. That's a great ball fake, and then right here, a little subtle slip, and then to have the speed to make it look that easy. Very, very special. See the two guards pulling out there, Carrasco and Chafee leading the way, and then Jordan doing the rest. As we said, we talked about those skill guys, but give a lot of credit to those 5 guys up front. Very solid bunch.
On that drive alone, they had 4 runs for 10 yards or more. Of course, the one big run of 36 yards for Robinson really set it up. And the big plays are what hurt Deer Valley last week against Basham. It wasn't so much sustained drives as it was 3 big plays. And as a result, they got into a 21-0 hole before finally coming back and making a game of it. But I know when talking to Sven Christian before the game, he said, we've got to eliminate those big plays. We have to make them work for whatever points they get. Deep kick, take it back at the 2. Straight ahead on the return. Across the 20, out near the 24 is where the Skyhawks will begin their first offensive possession of the night. As we take a look at the Skyhawks offensive crew. Petchel, Doyle, Billy Lutz, good wideout. We talked about him. Skousen, Nerger there at the tackle along with Jervis, Engel, Keurig, Seafelt, and Hayden McClellan is Sven Christensen very high on McClellan. And here's Swartfeger, senior quarterback. And they will work out of a multiple set as they'll keep it on the ground here, and Hayden McClellan swallowed up on that Westview defense as we look at their starting crew.
They also come out of a 3-4 defense right there. You saw 3 defensive linemen, Shatwell, Williams, and Keener all in the backfield. Everything starts up front. Deer Valley's offensive line has got to give, if he's got to give Swartfeger time to throw the football, they've also got to be able to give them some room to run the football.
And this is a familiar scene that will unfold throughout the night because Deer Valley does not really run much of a huddle. Little swing out pass to Lutz. It's going to be a much better situation to pick up the first down on 3rd and short here after a nice pickup.
Well, what I love about this play call is it's a fairly easy throw and catch. You get into one of your playmakers' hands. They're going to do the quick no huddle here, but nice for Swartfeger to get a completion under his belt, pick up some yardage, start to build some confidence, start to get a little bit of a rhythm.
Everything called there from the line of scrimmage by the offensive coordinator, Bill Henderson. Swartfeger wants to throw near side, has his man. Pass is complete, and we have a penalty flag.
Completed pass and flag on the play. Pass interference against Westview.
Defensive pass interference. Nice route running by this Deer Valley offense. Nate Skousen comes up with the catch, but love the way that Swartfeger drops back. Read the defense, read the routes, threw the ball with some velocity. He fit that ball in there very nicely.
Well, Swartfeger attending the Steve Clarkson quarterback camp.
Defensive pass interference. We'll go back from the previous spot, mark it off, and it'll be a first down for Blue.
Swartfeger attending the Steve Clarkson quarterbacks camp there in California during the offseason, and, going up against the likes of Joe Montana's son, Matt Barkley, USC recruit. But the coaching staff felt like that he made tremendous gains, big strides in the offseason, just in terms of reading a defense and really becoming a true field general, as it looked like we're going to get encroachment here against the Knights. So another 5 yards coming the way of the Skyhawks.
Well, as we're talking about Swartfeger, I mean, to me, very important, early in the game, but very important drive for this Deer Valley football team, because you do not want to go down 14-0 to this Westview football team, because they're just going to pound it at you all night long. Very important that they respond and they drive the football down, try and come away with some points, gain some confidence offensively early in the football game.
Jacob Doyle splitting out wide at the top of your screen. It's Petchel in motion right to left from the shotgun. Inside handoff. Nice hole opening up this time for Hayden McClellan. He surges through and plenty for the first down. A pickup of about 7. They will mark it at the 42-yard line.
See, watch this double team right here. Watch it get knocked off the football. Nice job by Scouser, just running him down, and then gets shellacked from the other side. Pulling tackle, Seafeld. Yep.
On the shotgun, Swartfeger rolling far side. And just ran out of real estate that time. There is a penalty flag, and we might have.
We're going to have roughing the passer there as the ball came out. And big 79, Terry Williams, hit Swartfeger just a little bit late.
Williams, of course, the transfer from Chandler High School along with his brother.
Roughing the passer on the defense, automatic first down.
And these are the kind of penalties that just kind of upset you a little bit, but you're trying to be aggressive. Swartfeger can run the football. Looks like he might here. He decides to throw it the last second. And you come up and take a little shot at him. And nice sell there by Swartfeger. Got the penalty and all that. But if you're Terry Williams, ball's gone. And you weren't going 100 miles an hour. You could have held up there. That's why the penalty was called.
Inside handoff to McClellan, and he is quickly wrapped up there after he picks up maybe 2 on the carry.
Well, Vince Shatwell, number 59, you see him right there, 6'2", 265 pounds, right in the middle. Very, very good defensive lineman. You put him on the nose of the center, and he's difficult to block one-on-one.
We didn't get the call signal in from the sideline here. Second and a long 9. That swing pass again to Lutz makes a nice cutback move that will take him down to the 20. Will still be stopped about 1.5 yards short of the first down. So 3rd and short here for the Skyhawks. Their first offensive possession of the night as we get another look at Lutz.
Another easy completion. Just take one step, throw it out, and then try and get him a block down the field and see what Billy Lutz can do with the football. Very deceiving. Looks like that's almost a 1 or 2 gain. He actually gains 5 or 6. Gives him very manageable 3rd down.
Well, it's in a slot here to the near side. On the rollout, man wide open, the tight end roaming across, hauls it into the 12, and finally wrestled down at around the 2-yard line. A well-run play. Nate Skousen, the big 6'3" senior tight end, reaches those big hands out, makes the catch, and a terrific run after the catch. 1st and goal to go for Deer Valley.
What a nice target. The tight end, you're going to see him right here. He's going to come right here. Little fake, and then watch Swartfeger come out and buy a little extra time. Great route. Nice hands. Almost gets to the end zone if it's anybody, but Jordan Grandin probably scores a touchdown but picks up the first down.
1st and goal to go. Pressure coming off the corner. Swartfeger trying to get to the end zone, but boy, he takes a pounding, but you can see the wrestler in Swartfeger has him bouncing right up off the turf.
Swartfeger doing a nice job. These snaps I've been watching. Watch this snap, how high he's got to jump to get this, because the snaps are getting higher and higher. Nice job. Not as high on the second look, but takes his eyes off where he's going with the football. And I'm seeing him rise a little bit. Center's got to get his behind down a little bit, bring the snap down into the chest.
Well, that time you could see the Knights coming with the blitz off the edge. McClellan's got it going straight ahead, and that's the one struggle in an offense like this. When you compact the field a little bit and you've got to go mano a mano up front against those big horses for Westview, really makes it a challenge.
But what's interesting is I'm talking about Tom Engel, the center from Deer Valley, and having to get the snatch down a little bit. But the other thing you got to remember, he's got number 59, Vince Shatwell, right on his nose. And very, very difficult to snap and block a big, aggressive kid like that. See number 45, Sauceda there coming in and making the tackle. But, boy, when 59 is lined up over your nose, you know you are in for a battle all night.
Now 3rd and goal to go, and they'd lost a couple of yards in the last 2 plays, and now it's going to be made all the more difficult with his 5-yard penalty. First penalty of the night there against Deer Valley, but now you got to come up with a big play here.
Well, and sometimes passing offenses would rather have a little more room. It does, as you said previous play, open up the field a little bit. You get inside the 5-yard line. There's not a whole lot of places to throw the football.
13th play of the drive here. Schwartfeger looks across the middle. Had a couple of guys there. Lutz got his hand up and on it, but coming in from behind him was Skousen, so hard to tell who that pass was intended for, but either way it falls incomplete.
And this is what we talk about. You can see, watch right here in the middle, because they're out at the 10-yard line. Opens up a little more room to throw the football. Just overthrown a little bit. I promise you, Billy Lutz says, give me 10 chances to catch that. I'll catch 9 of them.
Kick is up and good on the field goal. Would have liked to attack on 7th, but they'll take 3 off the leg of Matthew Wahlberg. And the Skyhawks successful in their opening drive. But it's the Knights who still lead at 7-3.
Well, I thought it was very, very important that this offense come out here and get some points. Whether you got a touchdown or a field goal, they needed to come away with points. They have a 13-14 play drive. They go right at Westview. They're able to throw the football a little bit, run it, answered them, gave their defense a little bit of a rest. And now the defense needs to respond, and they need to get Westview off the football field.
As we said, they got down 21-0 last week, and I'm sure that was certainly on the mind of Finn Christensen.
Well, what happens sometimes if you start to get in that, it's almost a rut. Oh, bam, we come out, we don't play well from the start. You can get into a habit of doing that, and it's really difficult to overcome that. And that's why here early in the season, you want to nip that in the bud. And yes, defense gave up a touchdown on some big plays and a drive, but offense, you need to come out and respond, and that's what they did.
The Skyhawks will tee it up here from the 40. Kicking near side. Robinson will take it. Looking the near side return. It's got a couple of lead blockers out there. Stays inbound. And blasted out around the 34, but he actually stepped out around the 28-yard line, and that's where Westview will begin with 2:34 to play here in this opening quarter, leading 7-3. Well, national anthem tonight performed by someone very special in the Christensen family. 10-year-old Hannah, daughter of Sven and his wife, and doing a outstanding job, I might add.
Did a great job, and I wonder if the coach was more nervous about the start of the football game or his daughter singing a national anthem. Tell you what, as a dad, I get more nervous watching my daughters do things than I ever did, things that I undertook.
Trip set far side. Grandin will go a little swing route to Robinson out of the backfield. Sheds one defender and then takes on 3 or 4 others before finally being wrestled there to the turf after about a 5, maybe a 6-yard pickup.
Some good blocking for Robinson. You catch just a little swing pass from Grandin right here. You're going to see a nice block come right in there. Number 34, Eric Ramsey, opens up some room, and then got to get him down on the ground. You see a bunch of dark jerseys around Robinson, but they need to get him down a little bit sooner than that.
Carlton Williams, the transfer from Chandler. His brother splits out wide and hit it near side. We're number 27. The shotgun. Robinson again runs right into the teeth of that defense. And cutting it back was DeAndre Daniels, who got the start tonight. And Daniels is a guy that Finn Christensen was talking before the game. Looks set to be one of the leaders of this defense.
Well, you have Daniels and you also have Stevens. Watch over here, but watch these blue jerseys. When you're on this side of the line of scrimmage, you cannot run the football. Watch them get across the line of scrimmage, come down there. Great job by number 42, Derek Stevens, reading the play, getting across the line of scrimmage and making the tackle.
Third and long, Robinson inside handoff. Popped as soon as he got it, managed to stay upright, but only picked up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Just across at 35, so fourth, and call it a fourth and a long 3 here.
Johnny Morrison coming in, the blitzing middle linebacker, number 52, doesn't make the tackle, but definitely disrupts the play, makes R.J. Robinson go where he doesn't want to go right back into all of Morrison's buddies. Nice job by this Deer Valley defense. As we said, coming out, trying to go ahead and capitalize on what the offense did. Get that Westview offense off the field.
Chase Bakanowski coming on to punt for 46 for the Knights. Well, he's giving the appearance to punt. Brandon wants to throw instead. Had the man wide open, in and out of the hands of Michael Salceda.
And you know what? I saw Coach Christensen, the Deer Valley coach, running down the sideline saying, watch out for the fake, watch out for the fake. He knew something was up. You get a feel. It's going to be a direct snap to the up back. Grandin, who obviously can do a lot of things as a quarterback, looked like it could have been caught. But you had some very aggressive Deer Valley defenders coming in. You see number 8, Jermaine Robertson, coming up and putting a nice lick on Salceda. Gets the ball in very good field position for this Deer Valley offense.
Here come the Skyhawks. Big hole up the middle for Lutz. Slicing through, and that should be about good for 10, maybe 11. They'll mark it just short of the first down. See if they can get one off before the quarter ends, and unable to do so, but a strong opening period here for the home team. They trail 7-3, but came up with the big defensive stop moments ago at the end of one. Westview on top, 7-3 against the Skyhawks. You're watching live AIA high school football on Cox 7, Arizona. Presented to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona and the United States Army. (7-3) our score, with the visiting Westview Knights leading the Deer Valley Skyhawks as we head to the second quarter. Kevin Ray, Dale Hellestray, our entire Cox 7 team on hand here tonight for our AIA Game of the Week. But the Skyhawks in great position here. That's out of the red zone. McClellan gets the handoff, but immediately met by 3 surging white jerseys from the Westview Knights, and leading the way there for the Knights was Kevin Gunn, a big senior linebacker, 6 feet, 213 pounds.
See him come from his linebacker spot, just being aggressive. That first quarter, time of possession, Deer Valley 6 minutes, 13 seconds to Westview's 5:47. I promise you, coming in to the game, this Deer Valley coaching staff would take that in a heartbeat. Deer Valley 36 passing yards, 11 rushing. Westview 90 yards rushing, only 6 passing. That's why you got such a close score. And then you have a very, very important play right here as it brings up 3rd and about 6 after Deer Valley got the ball on downs to end the first quarter.
Well, in second straight possession, too, where they've had 3rd and short, and only to have an infraction push them back and make it a little more challenging. Schwartz looking to throw on the quick slant. Good battle for the football, and who's going to come away with it? Jordan Brandon right there. And they're going to give him the interception. A battle for the ball, throwing to Nate Skousen on that quick slant route. Would have had enough at the first down, but a terrific defensive play there by Grandin.
The break that Jordan Grandin gets on this football, pretty nice throw on a slant route, but watch Grandin come over the top and actually steal that ball right out of Skousen's hand. You see a quick slant route, ball's a little bit high. What a great athletic ability and athletic play by Grandin, the quarterback, and playing cornerback.
Grandin on the pump, throwing deep, has his man there, just past the outstretched hands of Nate McGowan.
Boy, they had that set up, a little pump fake, double move by McGowan, and Grandin probably a little pumped up from that interception. Overthrows his receiver. The pump and then a very nice throw. The one thing you see a receiver fairly wide open as a quarterback, you say, I don't want to underthrow him. Overthrew him by a yard or 2.
Second and 10. Hand to Robinson as he tries to get to the corner. And we'll pick up 4, maybe 5, depending on the spots.
Well, the one thing about this Westview offense, it's kind of interesting because, okay, you don't throw the ball all that often, but you take a chance on first down. What it does is you don't complete it. Now you're second long. And what you're kind of predicated on is staying ahead of those chains. You have 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, 3rd and short, or you pick up the first down. Now all of a sudden it's 2nd and 10. You do pick up your 5 or 6 yards, but brings up a relatively lengthy 3rd down conversion.
3rd and a long 5, we'll call it. Brandon on the keeper. Follows a lead block. Lunging forward across the 35. They'll have enough for the first down as they will mark him out around the 38-yard line. When it's nice to coach when the play sometimes doesn't work, but it still works, and it's all just due to one thing called athleticism.
Well, you do it. Watch these offensive linemen. 62 is going to come. He's going to pull. And watch Jordan just read his block. 62 is Willie Chafee. Watch him come around there. Jordan, very patient, picks a hole, gets through and has that explosion along with the patience not a lot of young kids have.
Willie Chafee's brother, pitcher down on the U of A baseball team. Come the Knights on first down, but we get an early penalty flag, and the illegal procedure will be the call. So 1st and 15 will be the set now. 9:44 to play in this second quarter. Coming to you from the campus of Deer Valley High School.
Gotta love the job that Coach Bowen's done with his Westview team. Got to see him a couple times last year and just love the way they're coached. Fundamentally sound, tough, physical hustle. And you build on that, and you lose some really good football players, but you just fill right in and you keep on trucking along.
Fell to the Centennial Coyotes 26-7 in the championship game. We get another penalty, but I think these days falling to Centennial, there is no disgrace in that. The 2-time defending champs going for the three-peat is life's made a little more difficult here on Jordan Grandin. The Knights with consecutive infractions against the Knights.
Well, not only going for their 3rd state championship in a row, but beating a pretty good Hamilton team last week, kind of making their presence known.
Just a little reminder if anybody needed any. Wants to throw. Man wide open, makes the catch. Is it a loose ball? They say it's a catch and a fumble. Recovered by the Skyhawks. Well, it was Eric Ramsey who made the catch to tight end. Took a step or two. So we can have a look at it.
Nice throw by Grandin. Looks like they have a completion on first down here, which they do. Ball comes loose. Look at all the dark jerseys around the football. You see number 14 for Deer Valley, making sure he jumps on the football, Billy Lutz.
Looked like Jared Ritter was the one that caused the fumble. And so the two teams exchange turnovers now in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes. McClellan straight ahead, and with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 carries, McClellan has had absolutely no running room, going right in the heart of that Westview defense.
All right, at that Vince Shatwell, we've talked about him a few times. Very tough physical nose guard. But this is what's interesting now. Deer Valley defensively, they came up with a stop, went for it on fourth down. They were not successful. Gave the offense great field position. Another turnover, great field position. Offense needs to take advantage of it, move the football a little bit, try and come away with some points.
Second and a long 13. As, again, you see them kind of getting into an offensive set and then stand to look. And there's that high snap you were talking about. Schwarzenegger getting back to scoop it up. Just trying to throw the football. You can hear the crowd screaming, throw it, throw it. Only problem is he didn't have anybody in the vicinity.
There was nowhere to go with the football, and that was the one thing that was concerning me just a little bit. I'm watching these snaps from Engel. You're gonna, again, you have a big physical nose guard on top of you. Make sure you get the snap there. Ball's just getting a little higher and higher. And then you see over here, there's absolutely nowhere to go with the football, and you're going to compound things if you go ahead and have a grounding penalty. Although 3rd and 34, not a whole lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 34.
Loss of 23 there for the Skyhawks. And we get an official's timeout coming with 7:28 to play here in this second quarter. Looks like we might have an equipment issue as Eric Ramsey being sent off to the sidelines there.
Well, this is exactly what you have to do if you're Westview. I mean, your defense comes out and says, okay, we have now effectively put you back in no man's land. Now we can blitz you, do things that make you feel very, very uncomfortable at 3rd and 34. Nice job by the defense overcoming the turnover by the offense.
And now it's becoming a domino effect. You talked about the center having that big nose tackle over him. Snaps coming a little higher. You got offensive linemen starting to jump up out of their stance. And a quarterback who's starting to look downfield before he has anybody because the corner's blitzing. So despite the turnover, Westview should stand to have terrific field position, barring a huge kick here as we get another official's timeout here. With 7:17 to play. Looks like Jeff Bowen and the Knights will call a timeout.
Not sure if they had enough white jerseys on the field, and obviously you want to make sure with 7 minutes left and make sure you got your special teams ready to go.
Well, each week, Cox Communications and the AIA are proud to honor 2 student athletes with the Pursuing Victory with Honor Award for outstanding on and off the field contributions. This week's honorees are Johnny Morrison from Deer Valley and RJ Robinson from Westview. Johnny has a 4.6 GPA, has participated in wrestling, is an FCA, and has built houses in Mexico for his church under the Amor program. RJ carries a 4.12 GPA, participates in basketball and track as well as football, was in the ASU Summer Medical Head Start program, and coaches youth football camps. Congratulations going out to Johnny and RJ, 2 outstanding high school student athletes.
Well, I'd like to be Johnny Morrison, sitting there with a 4.56 GPA. And knowing you don't have a chance to be the valedictorian because that's your quarterback who's 4.69. I thought those were 40 times, not GPAs.
There's more great work being done in the classroom and out in the community by so many of these student athletes we have a chance to see each Thursday. timeout. Pressure coming. Well, they do get the kick away, but one that will favor Westview. A decent roll for the Skyhawks. At the very least prevents any kind of return. So neither team able to capitalize on the other's turnover. Now we'll see if the Knights can get that offense kind of recharged after the last two drives. Has not been good. 3 plays, 7 yards. Turned it over on downs, and then 5 plays netting 3 yards before the interception came. Robinson trying to get to the corner. Penalty flag comes. They have a face mask here.
See, when you're an offensive lineman, you can read lips. I heard white holding. You're paranoid when you're an offensive football player. 99 out of 100 times a flag's thrown right there. It's holding on the offense. I was kind of hoping maybe it could be a face mask. Maybe it could be something against the defense, but those refs, they have no love for the offense.
You see the numbers on the season for R.J. Robinson. We touched on the loss that Westview has hit with graduation. Conley and Nichols last year over 4,000 yards, 48 touchdowns. First and 20 here for the Knights. Robinson works off that right side, finds a little seam, and a quick dart through it for maybe 6 yards on the carry. We'll bring up second and long here for the Knights.
I think that's where Westview is their best. I mean, you come out, snap the ball. We're coming right at you. You see, number 51, Carrasco, pulling, leading the way up there. They just want to come off the football. They don't want to be finesse. They don't want to, okay, well, let's try and trick them, do these things. They want to come off the football, and I think that's when you see this Westview offense at its best.
Tight formation here as Robinson will go in motion. They'll do the reverse, and the pass wide open, has his man at midfield. Pulling it in, Carlton Williams sheds one defender, still upright, crossing the 20, down inside the 10-yard line before he is finally brought down. Well, like a heavyweight boxer, they kind of soften up the middle with that pounding away running, and a 62-yard pickup on that play, and then they hit you with a big play here on the reverse pass.
Nate McGowan finds a wide open Carlton Williams. You're going to see the double reverse right here. You hand the ball off to Robinson. He gives it to McGowan. Enough time to throw the football, and then you see him rumbling and bumbling and getting through all these tackles, keeping those legs going. Carlton Williams, nice job. Gains about 20 yards after first impact. And just as I say, they like to come off the football and not trick you and play physical offense. What sets those
illegal
type of
substitution, 12 people broke the huddle on White.
What sets up plays like that is when you're able to run the football.
This is the original. Your Valley's only been standing.
That's the one thing I'm sure that Jeff Bowen will be talking at length about to his team at halftime is the penalties already at 60 yards. When you go back to that opening offensive possession for Deer Valley, and while they only got 3, large part of the yardage picked up in that drive was due to 2 big 15-yarders.
Looked like nullifying penalties.
Double penalty. Both teams had 12 on the field. They cancel out first down.
Well, Deer Valley said, you know what? If Westview's going to have 12, we're going to have 12. You're not going to outnumber us.
Keep things even, Aaron. Tight formation, Robinson in motion. It's like Brandon on the keeper. And another penalty flag comes in. And not sure if Williams was designed to get that one or not, but whoever was going to carry the football, they weren't going anywhere.
No, I think there's that face mask on the defense. We saw, again, 52 Johnny Morrison up there in the melee. Rushing yards.
36 yards, 36.
Negative 15. Going to put you in a very, very difficult situation against a team like Westview.
So the 23-yard loss in the last possession. Snap over the head of Schwartzfeger. First and goal to go from the 5 here for the Knights. Full house backfield over the left side into the end zone. Touchdown Westview. Joe Lauer with the score.
That's just playing power football. Lining up, making sure one of your guards, in this case Willie Chafee, pulling from his right guard spot, leading the way up there and just coming off the football. Trying to knock that defensive line off the ball, and they were successful on this touchdown play. And if you're going to win football games, offside against Deer Valley, if you're going to win football games, you have to take advantage of those situations. And that's exactly what Westview did. Good field position, drove the ball down the field, overcame a couple penalties. You score a touchdown. Deer Valley, short field, turn after a turnover and a botched fake punt. Couldn't take advantage, couldn't get points on the board. That's why they're sitting here in a possible 14-3 deficit.
Plenty of leg on the point after. Accuracy right down the middle, and it's a 14-3 advantage. Westview on top after the Lauer score.
A lot of white jerseys coming off the football, and when you see the dark jerseys not across the line of scrimmage, makes it very, very difficult to stop a kid like Joe Lauer with his full head of steam.
Yeah, Lauer's night starting long before kickoff here tonight. Dale has shed the helmet and shoulder pads, and we talk so much about our student athletes each week. Student body president, and of course a member of the marching band, does the drumming there. Participates in the halftime marching festivities at the home games as well for Westview.
That way you don't have to go in and get yelled at by the coach.
Sometimes it's not a bad thing.
I just love to see the well-rounded kids. We've chronicled them that. I mean, you don't get much more diverse than what Joel Lauer has done.
Deep kick taken back around the 1 by Petchel. Straight ahead, found a seam at the 30. Cut back at the 45. Finally brought down there by Lauer and a couple of other special teams defenders, but the Skyhawks with good offensive field position. But we've said that almost throughout this entire first half. We get another look at the return from Petchel.
Nice job reading his blocks right at the goal line. Good job blocking up front, picking a hole and then going. That's what I love to see when you're a kickoff return. You can't hesitate. You pick and you go. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but if you hesitate, you have no chance. Nice job by Petchel getting upfield, giving this offense a chance here with a little over 5 minutes left. Try and come away with some points, which this is as important as that first drive that they had in the game.
Preliminary signals against Deer Valley for a legal procedure. We'll cross the 5 yards.
Well, this is what really hurts you if you're a team that
Change your movement on the line by blue. Repeat first down.
You've been struggling to move the football with any consistency, and what is really compounding that is these first and 15s, second and 15s, second and 20s, based on pre-snap penalties. First and long, another high snap. Schwartzfeger just does get up to get it, and then he gets WrestleMania there by Williams, who whips him to the turf here. So another big loss for this Deer Valley offense.
You get what you're going to see. Watch right here. You're pulling, so you're hoping that number 79, Terry Williams, the defense is going to be influenced. Well, he's not. Stays at home, which is so tough for a defensive end to do, saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and chase that football. He didn't. He stayed at home, was able to come up with the sack.
Short Figures had a rough stretch now with the last 6 pass attempts. 0 for 4, another high snap. This one's going to bounce back close to the 10. Shortfager turning and wisely throwing quickly, trying to elude the oncoming rush once again. But this is something that is going to have to be corrected here in the next 4 minutes for Deer Valley.
Another high snap. Nothing that Schwartzberger could do about this except for pick up the football. Nice bounce there, and this time he had a receiver in the vicinity that he could throw to, but brings up third and an unbelievable distance.
And you see head coach Finn Christensen talking to his defense. And we're going to have another free snap penalty here against the Skyhawks. So, at least by my count, 5 illegal procedures.
Movement on blue.
Here against Deer Valley in this first half. And we still have harder on dad/coach than it is on the son. Brandon on the pump fake. Time to throw. Now pressure comes. He'll tuck it. Use the wheels. Beautiful cutback across the 15, down close to the 10-yard line. And, you know, you can just look around the stands here at Deer Valley and the fans just shaking their heads, because sometimes when it appears that you've got him stopped and have him defended, sometimes great athletes just make even good defenses look bad.
Well, they do, and obviously you have these athletes in Grandin and Lauer and Robinson. You just see, okay, we're going to throw the ball. No, good coverage downfield, but I'm going to make some yards with my feet. Getting back to Brennan Bowen, not as flashy, but I've been told he bench pressed 225 pounds 68 times,
which was 5 off the record there at the NAU lineman's camp.
I get tired going to the refrigerator 60 times.
Straight ahead on the carry, Williams slicing through that Deer Valley defense. Touchdown Westview. And certainly not what the Skyhawk fans had hoped for. By contrast, on the other side, the Westview fans who traveled here to Deer Valley enjoying every bit of this drive.
Very methodical. You can see the handoff, and just watch the explosion through here. When you have confidence in your offensive line, there's Bowen right there. Great job using leverage, keeping your hands inside. Do not allow the defender in this place, Greg Nerger, to come off your block. Pretty easy to run when you have a hole like that.
Williams did not appear to be touched on that touchdown run.
Makes it kind of easy. Obviously, Williams has great vision and explosion, but when your offensive line is able to tee off like that, it makes it a little bit easier.
Williams just a sophomore. Of course, Jordan Grandin, a junior.
Bowen, sophomore.
You can see why Westview under Jeff Bowen has, I think, clearly entrenched itself as one of the top teams in Class 5A2 here in Arizona.
Your $76.
Well, this is where you're in dangerous territory for Deer Valley, because you're 28 to 10. You're in the football game till the end of the first half. Come out in the second half, get the football 3 and out. Westview comes down and scores on a nice drive. If you're another 3 and out here, this game can get out of hand in a hurry.
Cooch kick, and this one will roll out of bounds, and so the Skyhawks with good field position here, but really the field position has not mattered. They had great field position through the majority of that first half. You'd have to say average field position in that first half for Deer Valley was close to midfield. So if you're a coach, it's exactly what you're looking for.
Here on the kickoff by Westview. By rule, they've accepted the ball at the 35-yard line. First down.
Take a look at the 5A2 rankings. We've come in for Centennial, coming off with a big win last week over Hamilton. Marcos Tenisa. And Westview as we get a good run here. Go back to those standings. Westview 2-0 Skyline. Then you have Pinnacle, who was beaten by Westview last week at a tightly contested battle. Sunnyside and Ironwood Ridge.
Centennial, that my number one team, regardless of division, by last week's decision.
Yeah, some would say the difference between number 1 and number 2 in 5A2 is the size of the Grand Canyon. Swordfaker throwing deep, has his man there, leaping high for the catch and hauling it in is the big tight end, Nate Skousen, who has shown to be one of the more reliable Skyhawk offensive players. Terrific job here.
Good protection up front. And Swordfaker put that ball up where his guy, 6'3", Skousen goes up, catches the football. Let me tell you something. Number 10, Pierce Swordfaker is playing with a bum left shoulder right now. He's holding it in between plays, toughing it out. A little bit of that wrestling background, sucking it up for his football team right now.
Rolling near side now. Throwing on the sideline. Makes the completion. And making the catch there, Jonathan Green. And this is that rhythm that we talked about that they had been unable to get into in that first half, and really showing it for the first time here tonight.
Pick up a 7 yards.
Obviously in a lot of pain, able to roll out, throw the football, little bit of zip, even a better catch. Nice job by number 88, Jonathan Green, coming down with that football. This is exactly what this team needed.
Now McClellan gets the handoff, and boy, they have completely neutralized McClellan and this ground game. Hayden McClellan was putting 142 yards rushing on the board against Sunrise Mountain, 2 rushing touchdowns. He's just a junior, but this Westview defense has really prevented him from being able to make much of an impact at all tonight.
Well, here's the important thing, though. They've had good field position. They've gotten the ball down here at 28-10. It's no longer acceptable to come up with 3 points. You need 7 points on the board.
Looking for Lutz across the middle. Has it. Lutz making the grab. And he'll be dropped there in his tracks at the 5. But Lutz, in the 2+ quarters that we've been able to watch him, has shown to be a very sure-handed receiver.
Watch him come across the middle. I mean, you know you're going to take a shot here. Great concentration. Pressure right up the middle as Swordfaker stands in there.
We will repeat 3rd down.
And there's that penalty again, the penalty situation where you pick up the first down, you're down inside the 10-yard line, and the penalty at the worst possible time puts you down 3rd and long.
You know, one thing that we have seen here, at least in this possession, is the Skyhawks going back into a huddle, looking back across the middle. Ball's going to be picked off by Ramsey back around the 14-yard line. On the return, back across the 20, there is a fumble. And Deer Valley is going to say they've got it back. Well, let's wait and get the official indication, and we get it. So a turnover for a turnover.
Well, actually comes out better for Deer Valley because they get the football back with a first down. 3rd and long. Would have been an incomplete pass. Ramsey doing a nice job from his linebacking spot, dropping back, catching the football with his hands, but then you got to make sure you secure the football, avoiding the umpire there. Nice hustle job. Looked like his number
Jonathan Green again coming back on the play.
Jonathan Green not giving up on the play. Great hustle, stripping the football right there. Nice job not giving up.
Swordfaker, time to throw, looking across the middle, has his underneath receiver, Jacob Doyle. The junior wideout makes the catch, and he's got enough for the first down, a pickup of 11.
Nice throw and catch, getting open, these wide receivers. A junior, you see the size, 5'11", 165 pounds. Sometimes hard to see those guys in the secondary, but look at the zip on this ball. coming up with the first down.
And we should note that Josh Petchel right now on the sidelines, he is on crutches. So after the remainder of this game, pressure coming, trying to throw that little screen, and Westview having that one read all the way. And there to quickly snuff that one out was Vincent Chatwell, the 6'2", 265-pound senior.
Chatwell's going to be your nose tackle. He's going to be right there. Watch how he doesn't bite on any fake. He sees what's going on, gets double teamed, keeps his feet, sees it running back. Great discipline. Nice job. But he's not there. Plenty of space out there to the right. Possibly could gain some yards and maybe the first down.
Second and 12 here. Under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Lutz across left and right in motion. Stepping into the pocket. And going near sideline. Looked like a miscommunication there by the quarterback and receiver. So we'll bring up third and long again here for Deer Valley, though that has been one of their best down and distance situations all night long.
Well, and you look at it, it's 3rd and 10. You see the stats there, 50% completions, 167 yards and 2 interceptions. I've heard a little bit, but this is 4-down territory. You don't have to pick up the entire 12 yards on this. If you gain 6 or 7 yards, you're going for it on 4th down here if you're Deer Valley. So Swordfinger has to be patient, maybe have to hit a check down receiver and make sure it's 2 downs to pick up that first down.
So we've got an official's timeout here. See Bill Henderson, coached under Jim Ewan at Mountain Ridge, also at Chandler. And now in his first season here.
He's down the 24-yard line of Westview. It'll be a 3rd down, 12 yards to go.
McClellan flanked to the right of the quarterback, Swartfager. On the pump fake, throws to the corner, has his man there, just off the fingertips of his intended target. Chance Carter, the intended receiver.
12 yards to go.
So we'll bring up 4th and long.
What a beautifully set up play. The double move, pump and go. Watch Swordfinger right here with this pump to the left side. Has a great chance as he does a nice job making sure that number 21, Champion, fights on that pump fake.
Attempting the long field goal, another poor snap. And things going from bad to worse with the snapping situation tonight here for the Skyhawks.
First down, 10 yards to go.
Can't put the ball in any better place, wide open. Could have been that touchdown. See, lays out almost. Comes down with a football. Chance Carter, a 5'11", 165-pound junior.
One night you wanted to be 6'1". So the Knights will take over, leading 28-10, with the Skyhawks coming up empty again. Brandon under pressure. Look out. Finds a seam, as he has done all night long.
That's such an exciting dimension if you're Westview. You drop back to throw the football. Nobody open downfield. And I promise you, your opposing defensive coordinator, Westview, you hold your breath right here because he's a breath away from breaking one tackle, being out the back gate and scoring.
Well, there's a happy mom as Penny and the Brandon family on hand here tonight. Of course, a member of the Cox family as well, as Robinson gets loose around the far side, and he takes it like inside the 20-yard line.
Well, we talked about the offensive line. We're giving credit to just about everybody at Westview offense. Robinson doing a nice job. But look at the backside pull there. You have 51 Carrasco. We've called his name a number of times. You have number 52, Greg Marin, doing a great job pulling from that backside, opening up some holes, and then these running backs know what to do when there's an opening.
A misdirection once again. And Deer Valley saying they've got it with a turnover. And that is indeed the call, as Lauer coughs it up, and a Westview Knights will turn it over.
Just another simple handoff. Lauer goes inside. You see number 52 right there. Morrison stripping the ball, being a ball hawk, doing a fantastic job flying to the football.
2:18 to play here, third quarter. Well, a snap this time. Not so much high as it was perhaps early. Short figure did not appear to be ready for it. The ball skips off his hands. And now we've got two different Chandler or Westview players down. It's Williams, the transfer from Chandler.
Well, what's interesting is see a couple Westview players down. Towards the end of that second quarter, this Deer Valley offense went back to snapping the football directly to the quarterback. No shotgun, was able to move the football. I think it's about time to do that again.
Michael South stated the player down, and while they tend to him, look at the Friday Night Lights action. Be sure and check out some games in your area. Queen Creek, Apache Junction, two unbeaten teams. Cactus, CDO, that should be a terrific game. And Coronado against the Demons of Greenway. Mike Brown's club in Millennium. Saw them last week, taking on Sabino, McClintock, Tempe. That's always a terrific rivalry. And you've got Chandler, Desert Vista, trying to overcome some early season injuries. Casa Grande, Marcos Teniza, Centennial Rincon, Brophy, and South Point Catholic. So several teams will be absorbing their first loss of the season tomorrow night.
The SaberCats taking the night off?
Oh, no. They're in there.
Are they? How do they not make Friday Night Lights? I thought that was a gimme.
Wasn't that part of your deal?
I mean, my goodness. I can't have Friday Night Lights and those SaberCats.
They are Friday Night Lights.
They have been for about 28 years now.
Well, those are some numbers that Sven Christensen will not want to look at. Schwartzfeger under pressure again by Williams. Steps up, throwing deep. Has Lutz there. Makes the catch. Boy, terrific job by Lutz to hang on. Took a bounce off his shoulder pads, but we talked about his reliability as a receiver, and he has turned out to be a good one.
Yeah, well, he's upset that he couldn't keep his feet, but what about the resiliency here of Swordfinger? I mean, what a nice job coming back from that previous bad play, getting the football out where his guy can make the play. Lutz coming down after almost dropping it. Way to come back from a poor play, giving yourself a chance here again, almost at midfield.
Now some operating room for Schwartzfeger and the Skyhawks. Misdirection as Lutz will get it on a handoff, but too many white jerseys this time for Westview closing in. Chris Gambleton, junior linebacker, makes a stop, about a 3-yard loss. As we approach the 1-minute mark here in this third quarter, Westview leading Deer Valley 28-10. Skousen, the big tight end, splits out wide here at the bottom of your screen. Pressure again, drops it short, McClellan. And first time we've seen them get McClellan out in some running space. And it results in about an 8, maybe a 9-yard pickup. So second and short here, third and short rather.
Nice play calling. This right here is that first drive Deer Valley had of the game. Westview, not exactly sure what they're doing, where they're coming from. A little bit on their heels, a little apprehensive. Deer Valley looking like they have a chance to take control here, go down and score some points.
Trips formation at the top of your screen. Pressure comes. He'll throw it short again to McClellan. Looking for the sticks. He's got the first down as they drop him at the 40-yard line of Westview. That'll be the final play of the quarter. They advance the chains. They will wind the clock here with 3.1 remaining, but a little momentum to carry the home team, the Skyhawks, into this final frame. So at the end of 3, Westview tacking on a few more points. They lead at 28-10. You're watching live AIA High School football on Cox 7, Arizona. Presented to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona and the United States Army. (28-10) our score as we head to the fourth quarter here from the campus of Deer Valley High School. Skyhawks try to find their way into the end zone, which has been a difficult task here tonight up against this very stingy Westview defense. Swartbaker time to throw in the pump fake. Throwing far sideline, leaping high for the ball is green, but doing a nice job of forcing him wide and out of bounds. Defensively for Westview was Jordan Champion, just a sophomore for the Westview Knights. Numbers on Swartbaker on the Knights.
Couple nice catches, big plays. He's been knocked around pretty good. I think that either left shoulder, collarbone bother him a little bit, but tough kid, wrestler. MIT. I don't know the last time I heard a football player from Arizona considering MIT. My goodness.
Nice snap, one-handed there by Swartbaker, looking across the middle. Has his target on the completion. Scalson again.
Scouts are doing a nice job. That 6'3" frame coming across the middle. Very nice. You're going to see him coming from the right side of your screen. Nice job, first of all, getting the snap. Swartbaker getting the snap down and then throwing the football. Nice job going up and getting it. And I'm not so sure, again, if I'm Deer Valley, that I'm not saying, hey, my quarterback's going up under center, taking a direct snap, because it scares me every time that shotgun snap is in play.
Lutz with a handoff, running straight ahead. Penalty flag thrown right in the middle of that pile, and that's usually not a good indication, as you saw. Lutz giving you the early indication is, boy, a terrific individual effort tonight by Nate Scalson.
I think they should give the umpire some other penalty that he could call, because he wakes up in the morning, he goes to sleep at night. The only thing he ever does is call holding on the offensive line. I think that he should have to keep his eyes closed for a couple seconds or something on every play. I mean, he's got to toss and turn tonight going, God, I just ruined another offensive lineman's night.
Hold on the offensive line. We will repeat first down.
Earlier in the game, we asked Cox Communications digital subscribers who they thought the best football team in Arizona was, regardless of class. Now, your choices were Saguaro, Hamilton, and Centennial. And the response, well, where's your SaberCat fans at tonight, Dale Hiddlestra?
Well, they're getting ready to go Friday Night Lights tomorrow.
Short figure, Scouts in there. Touchdown, penalty flag, though. But a beautifully thrown strike from Swartfager to Skousen.
What a
7-yard average before that catch. And
what a nice route. Skousen just finding ways to get open. Runs a little post corner route. And obviously, you see Swartfager having a ton of confidence in his tight end, who they can split out and do a lot of things with that 6'3" frame. But that's exactly the type of drive that this Deer Valley football team needed. Take advantage of the turnover, drive the football down the field, come away with a touchdown, and all of a sudden you're looking at a football game here in the fourth quarter, just like last week.
Auger on for the point after. (28-17).
See the pocket right up here, and then over here, watch the post corner by Skousen. First of all, you got out of the protection. Nice job right there. We've talked about center Tom Engel doing a nice job on Vince Shatwell. You don't give him protection up front, you don't have a chance to complete this pass. And just love the toughness of number 10, Pierce Swartfager, able to step into the throw and complete the touchdown pass. Want to give a quick shout out, Kevin. Mama Hellestray in the hospital recovering from a little neck surgery this week. Watching us, looking forward to the game tonight. She's doing great. I want to say hey to Mom.
Absolutely.
If you block him the whole play, you make him work.
We'll send a few cookies to the Cox crew every once in a while. That's the only time Pete Gordon ever talks to me, is when there's cookies.
Wait a minute. You brought cookies? You brought cookies? Apparently I've...
Well, I mean...
Did they make it out of your truck? That's the question.
In between the pizza and hot dogs, I'm sure you're able to eat, look like you do. I gained 3 pounds just smelling what you eat. You look like a fitness guru. Well, with this field position, interesting if you might want to try an onside kick, because, boy, even if you don't get it after the penalty, and I'm going to say right there, it probably my last resort is to kick it in the end zone, because you're going to bring it out to the 20-yard line. I mean, that's the perfect chance to at least pooch kick it, try and get him inside the 20, or go for the onside kick. But
you look at the numbers there, and I think what stands out is 83. You know, really for the first time tonight, putting a nice sustained drive. They had the earlier score. That was only 68 yards. But the fact that they got 7, they made some plays. But Dale, at the end of the day, they didn't have any of those big penalties that they had seen in the previous drives. And I'm sure that's something that Sven Christensen will try and reinforce with his club. As Robinson takes it, tries to find a running lane over the left side, and will manage maybe 2 yards on the carry.
Well, now you have a defense who's going to be re-energized. I mean, you get the turnover. In the first half, they did a wonderful job giving their offense field position. Offense did not take advantage of it. Now you get a turnover. Offense goes down and scores. You get a little bit of a breather. You get that excitement back. The crowd's back into it. And now you got a football game. Can you come out defensively one more time and stop Westview?
Robinson in motion. Straight ahead goes Williams. Sidesteps one defender. Lost the football. And I believe now Westview will keep possession of the football. But boy, what a huge break right there.
See number 14 right in the middle of your screen. Forcing him back into his buddies, and just by sheer hustle. Robertson able to swap the ball loose, but Westview doing a nice job of hustling after the football and jumping on it. But I tell you what, your Coach Bowen and that staff, you're a little uneasy because that's the second drive in a row now the ball's been on the ground.
As a result, they get a first down out of it. Lauer in motion. He'll take the handoff, working at left side again.
A lot of physical play out there. Both teams not afraid to hit you in the mouth and keep on coming, and fun football to watch as this game rolls down almost to the 9-minute mark.
Plenty of time here for the Skyhawks if they can get that defensive stop here. Westview content to just keep pounding away, keep between the hash marks as they do so here. We'll bring up 3rd and short after a pickup of 3 again for Williams.
Well, this is where it becomes so important because you have them on the other side of the 50-yard line. You hold them here, they're most likely going to punt the football away. They've already tried the fake, didn't work. You give them a first down here, there's 8 minutes and 50 seconds left. They can pick up the first down here. They're going to run another 3-4 minutes off this clock just by jamming the football down your throat.
On 3rd and 4, Robinson with a carry. And they're going to stack him up and push him back. They're going to give him some forward progress, but even with the forward progress, he's going to be stopped about a yard shy. Then we get a late penalty flag. And the infraction will be tacked on against the Skyhawks. My goodness.
Well, and that's one of those things where you're talking about you want to play on that edge. You want to be aggressive. You have the ball carrier stop. You've driven him back. It's going to be 4th down. You have a little extracurricular push. Wasn't a lot. Who knows? But you do not want to leave the decision in the hands of the referee. Well, you got 6 guys. You drive them back. You hear the whistle pull off. Let them have 4th down. Do not give them that extra shove and let the referee even have a chance of calling it.
Brandon on the keeper. Finds a cutback lane. Look out. They won't touch him. Touchdown, Westview. 2nd rushing touchdown tonight for Jordan Brandon. And the door may have been slammed shut on that play right there.
Well, here you see immediately after a big penalty, breaks 1 tackle. You're not bringing him down with an arm. Get him in the open field and burst, explosion, speed. And we talked about it all night. The penalties. When do they come? Where do they come? How do they affect you? As this Jordan Brandon's average jumps up to almost 13 yards per carry. Just so smooth. There he was offensively. Here's defensively stealing an interception. Nice throw, breaking tackles. Just a wonderful leader on this football team and a fantastic athlete. A junior. 6 foot, 180 pounds, and he's only a junior.
I think he was taping ankles before the game, and he was serving hot dogs at halftime in the concession stand as well. I mean,
fun to watch him play.
And I want to go back to a comment you made a few moments ago talking about this Deer Valley team playing on the edge. Now, you played for a coach in Jimmy Johnson. Your Cowboys teams played on the edge, but they were also a very disciplined team. How, as a coach, do you get a team to play on the edge, but to do so, you know, being a smart ball club? Because a very fine line right there.
A super fine line. One, as a coach, you have to be able to live with a penalty or two, but you also make, as we see the return here, you make the consequences of a penalty or two too many. You got to make the consequences something that the player's going to remember. And Jimmy was very, very good at making you pay as a football player if you hurt the football team. And so that's stuck in your mind. You bring up Jimmy, it's kind of funny because you're talking to somebody the other day. The other thing that Jimmy did so well was the fact that on any given football team, there's a few people who just don't care. And they're out there to have fun. They really don't care if you win or lose. You hear them laughing, giggling after the football game, whether you win or lose. But Jimmy made it so miserable for everybody if you lost that even the people who didn't care cared. They didn't want to be miserable for the whole next week. He did a nice job of that.
Well, and it really is. It's frustrating for everybody in a program when you know you've got good talent, when you know you've got good coaches, but for whatever reason, the dots just aren't connecting. For the second straight week, we've seen this Deer Valley team get behind big early. Tonight, not as big as a week ago, but you get behind. You talked about how that could kind of, creep into your psyche a little bit. Then they compound that with so many of the penalties. So I got to believe that that's going to be the first order of business for Sven Christensen and his coaching staff, is if we can stop shooting ourselves in the foot, we can be a good football team.
Well,
if not, it could be a long season.
Well, the other thing you didn't even mention, and we haven't gotten there, is the bad snaps that have cost this team a ton of yardage.
They were minus 11 rushing yards at the half, as we see the double reverse carried out there by Jacob Doyle. Be close to the first down marker, but just short.
And those are things that you see the double reverse here. You give it to Lutz and then hand it on the end around to Doyle, and looked like he was coming in there, saw a white flash, but the white flash is gone. Nice blocking up front and brings up third down and short.
You call that block the decleater. Third and short here for Schwartzenegger. He'll throw short. Has Skousen at the 40. He's got the first down. Turns and lunging forward across the 45, close to the 46-yard line.
And that umpire again, never good for the offense. Looks like it might be ineligible receiver downfield against Deer Valley on third and long. Which Westview obviously will accept, otherwise it's a first down.
Downfield, we will repeat third down.
Well, if you just take away for Deer Valley the penalties and the snaps, and you are right in this football game. We're going to see if we can see who ineligible is downfield. It's got to be one of those 5 inside guys.
Penalty, it'll be a third down, 6 yards.
And there he was. The right tackle came perilously close to downfield.
Third and 6 here. And we will get a timeout called down on the field by Deer Valley. Stops the clock with 41 remaining here, trailing 35-17. Well, they got to the championship game last year. They are a perennial playoff club. It's all about building the tradition for Jeff Bowen of the Westview Knights.
Coming in here, it was very important to us to establish a tradition that our kids were going to work hard on and off the field, and especially in the off season. That was where we had to make our biggest changes. And obviously it didn't happen overnight, but our program is developed into somebody, or a program that's going to be successful at all levels.
Was Bowen coaching at North Canyon before coming over to Westview High School.
One thing that's cool about Westview, them making to the state championship last year, I mean, they can see University of Phoenix Stadium from their campus. And, it's kind of cool when you're working out all off season, preseason, during the season. Boy, that's where we want to end our season, right there in that big white building.
Schwartzenegger taking the snap, again working that double move, looking for Lutz, leaping high to make the catch, but well defended that time. Robinson back on coverage. Well, interesting down on the field during warm-ups tonight as they went through their stretching routine before the game. The captains leading the break and saying, back to the big house. That is how they broke out of the huddle.
Pretty good coverage downfield. And it is. When you can visually see your goal, boy, it's a great reinforcement of what the coaching staff is trying to get across.
Well, the incomplete pass brings up 4th and 6 here.
Well, Westview thinks there's absolutely no way that Deer Valley is going to actually punt this ball.
They have no one back deep. But indeed they will, and they get off a beauty here. But leading 35-17, you can take that risk, if it really is a risk at all. Knights will take over here. We had our interactive poll earlier asking our digital subscribers who they thought was the best in the state of Arizona. How's this for Arizona football? Talk about a terrific representation. This is off Rivals.com, the top 100 high school football programs in the country. And you've got 5, Centennial, Hamilton, Desert Vista, Brophy, and your SaberCats. We see a new quarterback under center here. Nick Sorensen, sophomore signal caller, and Deer Valley saying they've got the football. And not uncommon to see that.
Well, and I got to tell you what, this is exactly why you have coaches who will keep their starters in longer than most people think they should, because of exactly this situation where you're bringing a new guy in, fumble the snap, turnover. Boy, if Deer Valley scores here quickly, all of a sudden you got yourself a football game again. And as a fan, before that, you're going, gosh, give some of those second-teamers a chance to play. As a coach, you're always going, boy, something bad could happen.
Swartfigger throwing short, has McClellan. Nice cutback move there by McClellan, and we'll have a late penalty flag as he takes it down close to the 15 of Westview. And Williams again slow to get up. So there's tonight's Arizona exterminating hit of the game. Arizona exterminating a home of the all-pet solution, the green solution.
Big hit on the quarterback.
Incidental face match. That's a 5-yarder. First down.
Number 10 still battling. Pierce Swartfigger, I promise you, he's going to wake up a sore human being tomorrow. It's good to be young, though, Kevin. Good to be young.
Yeah, there's actually some bounce in the bounce back.
My body hurts a little bit just watching her from up here.
So a 5-yard face masking penalty will give them 1st and 10. As the ball is marked around the 12-yard line. The shotgun again. Time to throw for Swartfigger. Looks back across, and boy, had 2 or 3 options as he elected to go to Jacob Doyle, but the pass sailing wide.
Good coverage downfield, his last resort. You're going to watch over here. Watch the coverage here by Westview, doing a very, very nice job in coverage. Able to tip that ball just a little bit.
Trips formation. Swartfigger trying to elude Williams. Just does shake free from him. Comes back the other direction. And then, boy, catching a big break there. Throwing into traffic, nearly picked off. Looks like Robinson on coverage. But how about the play of Williams? I'm guessing that Swartfigger's going to see him in his night watch tonight.
Big 79, 6 foot, 285 pounds. Bearing down. And Swartfigger again earlier in the game was able to grab his arm and throw him down right there. Not able to bring him, but great hustle by the Chandler transfer.
3rd and 10 now. Lobbing it, looking for Skousen, just unable to get his head turned around as he got tangled up with the defender there. Looked like Robinson. And we'll bring up 4th and 10. Yeah, back to Williams as we get another look at the play here. But Jeff Bowen telling us that Williams running a legitimate 7.840.
Nice. Yeah, I would hope that'd be 4.7
or 4.7.
I ran a 7.8.
Well, they're going to go for the field goal here.
Well, and only 2 people thought it was a real play. Shotwell and the snapper, and obviously you put yourself 35-20 if you're Deer Valley. You're thinking, all right, that was as tough to pick up first down. Now we're going to onside kick it. We get the ball. There's still 5 minutes left in this football game.
When you've got a good, solid kicker like they feel they have at Matthew Walberer, take the points when you know you can get them. 5:23 here on the game clock, 35-20.
Well, now it'll be interesting to see. Everybody's got different onside kicks. Kind of surprised that you see Westview with a couple deep receivers. I would think you'd have just about everybody up.
Robinson just now beginning to back up from his return position. Started back at the 20, now falling back to around the 10. And he will step back and catch it at the 8. Looks for the near side return. Shakes free from one oncoming defender. And about a 22-yard return there as he takes it out to the 30-yard line. And that's where Westview will take over. The Knights have not thrown a single pass this second half. And I don't expect to see them do so here, leading 35-20 with 5:13 remaining.
Well, I don't think that they feel that they have to. And interesting decision here by Coach Bowen. You know what? I love it, though. I love showing confidence in your guy. You know what? Here's a sophomore. You know, you're talking about Nick Thompson, and, you know, he's a 6 foot, 150-pound sophomore and had trouble with the first snap. But you know what? He's not benching him. Get back out there. Get back on that bike. I've got confidence in you. And
Robinson over the right side.
It does a world of good for you as a player to know you can make a mistake and the coach is still going to allow you to play. You can't play scared. You cannot play any sport scared of making a mistake because you don't ever reach your potential. A very, very admirable of Coach Bowen here saying, get back out there. And you could tell the team was like, do we need to put Jordan Grandin back in, or are we going to put the sophomore in? Very nice job giving the young kids some snaps.
Well, we saw that last year with Jordan Grandin, even though a little different set of dynamics, but you know, that is why Jordan Grandin is that much farther ahead of the game as they just go power football here, running straight ahead. But as you know, Dale, you're only one snap away from having to play that guy every snap in every game.
And so many coaches don't take advantage of a situation like that, and even more so because this first snap, something bad happens, and then you have the opponents, Deer Valley, go down and score a touchdown. Most coaches pull in the reins again. Let's get the starter back out there and get done with this football game. But I promise you, this will pay dividends in the long run.
Here's Williams, in behind the left side, and you look at Sorensen. He was part of a freshman team that went 8-1 a year ago. JV going 8-1 a year ago. And it's easy as you really closely examine this roster to see why Westview has become kind of a perennial 8-9, as they did a year ago, 10-win team.
Well, you build programs. You know, if you're either one of these coaches, but you're talking about Westview, you're not looking for one season. You're not looking for, like, hey, win 2 or 3 playoff games one year. You're looking to have 2 or 3 playoff wins every year and be talked about a state title contender.
Lost the football again, and the Skyhawks will once again come up with a recovery. And the Skyhawk fans have not left their seats here yet. Their club still in it, trailing 35-20 with 3:17 remaining. And that is a number that Jeff Bowen, I'm guessing, will go over quite a bit.
Well, and what's
tomorrow.
So frustrating is the last two of those center quarterback exchange problems.
Now,
always tough to tell when you see the quarterback center exchange where the ball didn't get up there, but I do promise you this. Most of the time, it's the center's fault. Whether it is or not, that's the one who gets blamed. Maybe not here in this case because you got the young kid under center, but it's so tough because you're sitting there saying, give some of these guys some snaps, and they didn't take advantage of it.
Well, there you see the rest of the season schedule for the Skyhawks, and boy, a lot of road work at Ironwood next week. Then a tough task ahead, October 3rd at Mountain View, and then the long trek up north to Kingman. But you look at this Northwest region that they play out of, you have Goldwater 0-2, Boulder Creek is 0-2, Kingman is 0-2. Even with a loss here tonight and the loss last week, if you can correct things going in next week against Ironwood, a team that is clearly in a rebuilding mode based on the first few weeks of the season. As Shortfinger trying to throw deep. Lutz trying to get to the football, making a terrific effort to get there, but that one just slipping off of the hand of Shortfinger. And unfortunately, because Lutz was running wide open.
Well, Shortfinger could have hung on to the ball one more split second. He could have reined that ball in because, as you said, wide open. Defender slips down. A lot of field to play with. Billy Lutz almost comes up with the catch.
And Shortfinger almost kind of side-arming that pass. And you see his numbers on the night. Approaching 300 yards. 2nd and 10. Steps into the pocket, throwing deep. Askalson there. Couldn't quite hang on. And Grandin, while he's not been on the last two offensive series, he is back on defense and saw him make a big play early in this game, coming up with the interception against Skousen, and comes up with a big play here again.
What a great play all the way around, buying a little extra time, throw the football up to your big receiver, have a chance, good coverage downfield. Skousen has the ball, hit him in the hands, and then Grandin strips it loose.
Get ready to bear that!
Jonathan Green on the slant route, and that one thrown just slightly behind him. And Green unable to get the hands locked on the football to make the catch. So 4th and 10 here. Stops the clock right at 3 minutes remaining.
Number 79, talked about Williams. Not sure if he got a piece of that ball or not. We played a really good football game. Relentless hustle, chasing the Shortfinger all night long.
Nice showing blitz here. Now they'll drop back into coverage. Williams coming off the edge. As Doyle could not hang on. And so the Skyhawks will turn it over on downs. It might have been their last legitimate shot to put some points on the board here tonight.
Well, I can tell you what, if I'm Coach Bowen right now, you have a tough decision to make. You really do. And it's going to take some guts. Or do you send a young kid out there again? And it doesn't look like he's even hesitating. You just got to love it. There might be some Westview fans who are going, what are you doing? But I promise you, it's a great lesson in having to overcome adversity for a young kid.
Well, and doing so in a unique way. When you've got the lead, those opportunities aren't always presented to you. As they just take the safe handoff to Williams, straight ahead. Maybe a half-yard pickup there for the young ball carrier.
Well, you're Coach Bowen, you're kind of holding your breath because you know the reason you're doing it, because you want to show that you have faith in him. You want to show his teammates you have faith in him. He's got to learn to overcome adversity, but yet, boy, every time that ball snapped, you are holding your breath just a little bit, saying, make sure you get the football.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here. Penalty flag on the play. Jordan Champion, player with a handoff. Let's take a look at the East Valley Tribune Varsity Extra play of the game. For the best coverage of high school sports, check out the Varsity Extra in the East Valley Tribune. Well, the home team, the Skyhawks, had scored. Looked like they had him bottled up, and then Jordan Grandin doing what he does best.
Made it look so easy once he broke through the
timeout blue.
Line of scrimmage there. Jordan Grandin done it both offensively and defensively.
We saw the Deer Valley schedule for the remainder of the season. Here's what lies ahead for the Westview Knights. They'll be back home next week against Mesa, and like Deer Valley, we'll have to make that long trek up north. And then following a trip to Sunrise Mountain.
Does everybody have to play at Kingman? Does Kingman come down here to the valley, or everybody just go
Apparently
up there?
So. And there's the one you had circled right there. Big region matchup. Centennial and then Ironwood and Tolleson. Westview and Centennial battling in the Desert West region. You have Deer Valley in the Northwest region. That's why I say for Sven Christensen, as disappointing as the last 2 weeks have been, I think we've seen that there are plenty of skill players on this team. It's just a matter of tightening up some situations with penalties, trying to get your ground game reestablished next week.
Well, you can see they have big play capabilities, both offensively. They force turnovers defensively. Can't have the penalties. They can't have the snaps that put you in a hole like they did tonight.
3rd and 11 here for the Knights. Sorensen trying to hang on to this one as he is thrown hard to the turf there by Jared Beebe. 6'2" linebacker. That'll bring up 4th and 11, and Deer Valley burning another timeout. Stops the clock with 1:52 left to play here.
Moved here from Buffalo. Big Buffalo Bills fan. You don't see many of those out here. I mean, I know you're a Buffalo Bills fan because you used to play there and follow me and all that stuff. But other than you, not a whole lot of Buffalo Bills fans out here. Which brings up 4th down and just under 2 minutes.
Skyhawks burning their final timeout.
Beebe saying his goal. Wouldn't mind going back to the Buffalo area. Maybe